My issue is that we have had horrible flooding issues, not so much with our houses, just with the creeks themselves and the rushing water, the torrents of water that come through here are just overwhelming. We just thought that, okay, we just had heavy rains. We didn't know what to do. Now I'm more aware of the damage that it does, not just here, but downstream and to all the other residents and businesses downstream, and of course to the ecosystem.
You remember what you first said to me? One of the first times we met, and we said we want to help you with your stormwater controls. Do you remember what the first thing you said back to me was?
I don't remember.
You said, "Oh, awesome! You're going to help me get this water off my property."
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly, like
that's
word
right.
for word. And me and Chris
now we're doing whatever we can to keep it.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Chris Mendel, Executive Director of the Pennypack Ecological Restoration Trust, located in Upper Moreland and Lower Moreland Township, and also Brynathan Borough. We are so pleased to have the assistance and the really foundational support of William Penn Foundation, who has brought together our watershed organization and all of the other watersheds surrounding Philadelphia to work together and work towards creating cleaner water within the entirety of the Delaware River watershed. This is just one small example of green stormwater infrastructure, and a really good example of an easy way that we can begin to undo the civil engineering of the 1940s all the way to the 1990s, where we took stormwater and treated it as pollution. And what it wound up doing was funneling pollution, whether it's temperature or salt or nitrogen or other things that we're putting on our landscapes, and pushing them directly into our waterways. This is a really good example of a way in which we can think differently about how that water is treated before it reaches those waterways. They're effective, they're beautiful, and they're relatively inexpensive to do. So long as we make the example to everyone in our watersheds that these are options, and these are examples of sustainability and the kinds of things all of us can do on our own property to make a difference.
This education has been, it's 1,000% worth going through, because I had no idea that holding on to the water actually is better than releasing it. So it's a...
That saves you money?
It saves us money. It's obviously going to bring back more wildlife. And as far as the residents, we've put out a couple of requests for volunteers, and we've had a lot of responses back that people want to help. So the feedback has been positive, and we also we started a natural bridle path, which allows people to walk through an uncut area that's going to act as a buffer for heavy rains coming off the hills before it gets into the creekway, but also allows the residents to walk through the natural landscape and not have something that's man-made and look kind of fake. So that's been a big favorable response also.
One of the big issues with regard to sustainable design is building a new approach to how we build buildings and conceive of landscapes. This is a powerful pilot project in helping small businesses who specialize in sustainable construction get their work in the ground and be a living example of this new approach.
Rain garden and other design install projects that I've done for homeowners are a great opportunity to be able to interact with homeowners and other entities such as nonprofits and educational agencies and organizations to educate folks about landscape, ecology, and design, and what folks can do on their own property.
When I first got here in 2013, my thought of property management was taking care of the buildings, not so much the landscape. Landscape is the landscape, it was what I thought. Once I was educated on, okay, we need to preserve the landscape and take care of that, my views changed greatly. Now when I look at how can we help the the community as a whole. I'm looking at the ecosystem. I'm looking at the erosion factor, the flooding factor. You know, all those the animals that live here. All those items are equally as important as the buildings themselves. Because if we destroy that, the buildings really aren't worth anything, and where are the people going to go to enjoy what we have here? I mean, we have 60 acres here of virtually untouched ground since 1941. So if we can preserve that for 75 years to come, you know, I think we've done our job.